Over 85% of Americans shopped at Walmart last year. But in 2025, a quiet shift is happening, and no one's talking about it. Shoppers aren't complaining or protesting. They're just silently walking away for good. Walmart, once the icon of low prices and convenience, is becoming what people tried to avoid. Expensive, inconsistent, and exhausting. You've probably walked in planning to grab a few essentials, only to swipe your card and feel like your wallet took a punch. Your cart's half full, but the bill's shockingly high. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. And no, it's not just inflation, it's a broken promise. Stick around to the end because reason number 1 will completely change how you see Walmart and how you shop from now on. Reason 7. Walmart is no longer the cheapest. For decades, Walmart wasn't just a place for low prices. It defined low prices. It was the lifeline when money was tight, the place Americans trusted to always offer the best deal. But in 2025, that image is crumbling, and shoppers no longer believe in the slogan, "Save money, live better." Because the reality is you're paying more and getting less. Real-world price comparisons this year deliver a shock. Aldi beats Walmart on over 70% of essential items. From milk, eggs, and detergent to fruit and frozen foods, Aldi's prices are often lower, while quality feels more consistent. This isn't a fluke, it's a full-scale shift in retail. Think about it. Walmart used to be the go-to spot at the end of the month when bills piled up and you needed to stretch every dollar. But now, with the same budget, you can buy more elsewhere. And once shoppers realize this, trust, the most precious thing, starts to collapse. Even the most loyal customers, the ones who knew every aisle, every rollback deal, every 97-cent price secret, are quietly leaving. They don't shout, they don't argue. They just shift to Aldi, Costco, or even local farmers markets and butchers, places with fewer tricks but more honesty. Because when you're played by prices once, you might shrug it off. But when you realize you're being played every week, every checkout, you don't come back. What's worse? Walmart isn't just losing sales. They're losing their place in people's lives. They were once the first choice, now they're the last resort, when no other options remain. Losing trust isn't just losing a customer. It's losing hundreds of future transactions, the casual, "I'm running to Walmart," that was once a cultural habit across America. Now, when single moms, working families, and those who saw Walmart as a way to make it through the month start turning elsewhere, it's not a warning, it's a red alert. And when even the most loyal customers walk away, the question isn't why leave Walmart anymore, it's why stay. Reason 6. The decline of great value. There was a time when great value wasn't just Walmart's store brand. It was a promise. A financial lifeline for families who wanted to save without sacrificing quality. You could grab a box of cereal, a can of soup, or a frozen dinner for less and still feel confident. It's good enough, safe enough, and trustworthy enough. But in 2025, great value is losing the very thing that made it exist: actual value. The most loyal shoppers now say this brand is declining, quietly but noticeably. Packaging changes constantly. Ingredients get tweaked. Product sizes shrink without warning. Worst of all, quality is plummeting. A mom in Ohio shared that her great value green beans looked like they were scooped from a pond. Another shopper reported yogurt tasting sour despite a valid expiration date. These aren't isolated complaints. They're spreading across forums, TikTok, Reddit, and Facebook, with thousands sighing, "Great value isn't great anymore." This isn't about taste, it's about trust. When a budget brand starts cutting corners to protect profits, the hardest hit are families living dollar to dollar. They buy great value not out of choice, but because options are scarce. But if even the cheapest option isn't worth buying, they'll find a new path. What stings most isn't rising prices. It's the decline without explanation. No one says why products aren't the same. No warnings. No transparency. Just familiar foods suddenly inedible. At that point, what's lost isn't a few bucks. It's the bond between shopper and brand. When a store brand, once Walmart's safety net, turns into a hidden trap that wastes money on unusable goods, shoppers won't give it a second chance. They'll turn to Aldi's Simply Nature or Friendly Farms, budget brands still praised for quality. They'll choose Costco's Kirkland Signature, seen as the gold standard for store brands. And they won't glance back at great value again, because when cheap no longer means good, smart shoppers choose to walk away. Reason 5. Empty shelves. You walk into Walmart with a tidy shopping list: eggs, milk, toilet paper, and a few items for dinner. But then, the aisles are quiet, shelves are bare, and hooks are empty with only temporarily out of stock signs and a few scattered rummage boxes left. You check 3 aisles, and the only thing in abundance is disappointment. This isn't a rare occurrence anymore. It's happening weekly across America. And the kicker? It's not due to a storm or a sudden supply chain glitch. It's a consistent, predictable shortage that makes shopping feel like a gamble every time you go. A single mom in Texas shared, "I spent nearly an hour to find just 2 items. Everything else, Walmart didn't have. I could have stayed home and ordered Instacart." These aren't just words of fatigue, they're words of hurt. Because when you go to Walmart hoping to meet basic needs and leave empty-handed, it's not shopping, it's failure. Nothing stings more than planning a family meal only to find the main ingredient gone. You can't pack your kids' lunch if Walmart's out of sandwich bread. You can't save money if you're driving to 3 stores to complete your list. And the bitter truth? Walmart didn't used to be like this. Shoppers can forgive rising prices. They might overlook a glitchy self-checkout. But missing basic items? That's a sign the store's lost control. Or worse, stopped prioritizing the customer experience. Meanwhile, smaller stores, even local farmers' markets, are keeping stock more reliably. Shoppers are shifting. They no longer default to Walmart, but seek places with consistency, even if prices are slightly higher. Because in the end, they don't just want cheap, they want certainty. Empty shelves aren't just missing products. They're voids in trust. And once shoppers lose faith that Walmart can deliver the basics, they won't wait around for another chance. They'll go elsewhere. Walmart won't be their first thought anymore. It'll be their last, if no other options remain. Reason 4. Customer service is gone. There was a time when walking into Walmart meant a greeter's friendly smile. A staff member guided you to aisle 14 for your item. A cashier asked, "How's your day?" before scanning your first product. Those small moments were why many Americans chose Walmart, not just for low prices, but for a touch of humanity. Now, you walk in and no one looks up. No greetings, no directions, no one notices you're struggling to find cough syrup for your kid or figure out why a coupon won't work. Manned checkouts are closed. The few employees you spot seem drained, avoiding eye contact, their faces worn from the shift before. Walmart in 2025 isn't a place where customers are served. It's where they fend for themselves, scan their own items, search alone, and deal. There's nothing wrong with automation, if it truly adds convenience. But what's happening is a replacement of people with machines, without support for those who aren't tech-savvy. Seniors, busy parents, or anyone needing real help now feel like invisible burdens in a place they once found familiar. One customer said, "I'm in a store full of people, but I feel completely alone." And you know what? That hits the heart of millions. Because shopping isn't just a transaction. It's an experience, where people find connection, kindness, even if just for a moment. When Walmart cuts staff, skips thorough training, and underinvests in human touchpoints, they're not just saving costs, they're severing ties with customers. The cold neon lights, the silent empty aisles, the indifference on employees' faces. It all says one thing: we don't need you to feel valued anymore. And when customers feel unappreciated, they don't speak up. They quietly leave, as they're doing today. They turn to smaller stores that may not have thousands of items, but offer what Walmart's lost: kindness and a bit of humanity. Because service isn't a smiling machine on a screen. It's feeling heard, cared for, and respected. And Walmart, somewhere on its automation journey, forgot that. Reason 3. Fake discounts. Those bright yellow rollback tags used to spark hope. A small light in a tough week, making you think, "Great, I'll save a bit today." But now, you stand before a familiar item, see the new discount tag, and suddenly recall, last week it was cheaper. So, what exactly is being discounted? The 2025 reality reveals a sad truth. Many Walmart rollbacks are just for show. Prices quietly climb for weeks beforehand, then get slashed back to their original level, or worse, still higher than before. With dazzling yellow tags and bold sale text, shoppers who don't double-check think they're winning. Don't believe it? Thousands of consumers are now saving receipts, snapping photos, comparing prices, and posting proof online. The evidence is hard to deny. Discounts look good, but are often a bait and switch. A cereal box jumps from $3.79 to $4.49 over 3 weeks, then gets rolled back to $3.99 with a shiny tag. Sound familiar? It's not just about money, it's about trust being traded away. Walmart once prided itself as the ally of low-income families, the place you went to stretch every dollar. But when you realize you're being led by pricing tricks, a sense of betrayal creeps in. Fake discounts don't bankrupt you instantly, but they erode loyalty. If you can't trust a rollback tag, you start doubting every price in the store. Every purchase becomes a calculation, a worry you're being duped. And when shopping turns into constant vigilance, people get tired. When they're tired, they leave. Not loudly, not with signs. They quietly shift to Aldi, where prices stay steady without needing flashy tags. They go to Costco, where a real deal is still a deal, no trust betrayed. Discounts should reward loyalty, not trap the rushed. And when shoppers see through the ruse, no matter how bright the rollback tags shine, they won't stick around. Walmart hasn't just failed to discount, it's discounted trust. Reason 2. Chilled foods lose trust. Nothing disappoints a shopper more than this. You open a new jug of milk, well within its expiration date, but it smells sour, like it sat in the sun for days. Or the chicken you thawed turns a sickly gray. Or a fresh pack of cheese starts sweating in the fridge. These aren't minor glitches. They're signs of a bigger problem. In 2025, more Americans are reporting that Walmart's refrigerated foods can't be trusted. Not just a few items, not just one store. It's a quiet trend spreading nationwide. You might tolerate long lines. You might shrug off fake discounts. But when food, the stuff you feed your family, becomes a risk, everything changes. A woman in Michigan threw out 2 gallons of milk in a single month. No complaints, no refunds. She just said, "That's enough." It wasn't anger. It was a decision, silent but final. Shoppers are realizing saving $2 on milk, but pouring it down the drain after a day isn't saving. It's a waste of time, money, and safety. And when it happens enough, you don't just doubt the milk. You start questioning everything in that store's coolers. This isn't about feelings. It's repeated experiences. Spoiled milk, watery cheese, discolored chicken, and frozen meat showing signs of multiple thaw and refreeze cycles. And the danger? It happens before you even cook. Worse, sometimes you don't notice until your kid's stomach aches the next morning. What happens when people lose trust in food? They stop shopping with emotion. They shop with caution. Every package becomes a gamble. Every purchase carries the question, is this safe? And at some point, you stop betting. You turn to Aldi, where the milk may not be much cheaper, but it lasts until the date. You choose local stores where staff know their stock dates. You go where the fridge isn't a box of risks. Walmart used to be a place you trusted, not because it was perfect, but because it put consumer value first. But now, with spoiled milk and questionable meat piling up, that trust is melting faster than ice in a faulty freezer. Because food isn't just a product, it's what nourishes people. And when trust in that vanishes, so do customers. Reason 1. Self-checkout is a farce. At first, self-checkout was pitched as a leap forward, convenient, fast, and no long lines. But in 2025, many shoppers have seen the cold truth. It's not a perk, it's a trap. A trap where you do the employee's job while paying the same price. You walk into Walmart, pushing your cart past empty cashier lanes. All that's left is a row of self-checkout machines, sterile screens, and a robotic voice droning, "Unexpected item in bagging area." Again and again. No one comes to help. You bend to pick up a fallen apple, soothe a crying kid, and scan items in desperation. And everyone around you, they're struggling too. A mom in Kentucky filmed herself juggling a baby, scanning groceries, and picking up a spilled bag of rice with no employee in sight. That video went viral, not because it was shocking, because everyone saw themselves in it. Self-checkout was promised to cut wait times and boost control. But in reality, customers are working for free. You scan, troubleshoot errors, and bag your items. Meanwhile, Walmart, instead of hiring staff, shifts the burden to you without sharing the savings. No discounts, no perks, no rewards, just responsibility and exhaustion. The frustration doesn't hit right away. It builds. Every unscanned item, every call for help while waiting in a line of unmanned machines, every minute your frozen goods start thawing as the scanner freezes, red light blinking, and the lone employee juggles 6 stations at once. When shoppers feel exploited instead of served, the issue isn't just tech, it's respect. Self-checkout isn't wrong, but Walmart's execution, slashing staff, ignoring emotions, and dumping the process on customers without cutting prices, is a joke. A joke shoppers are refusing to keep playing. They're seeking stores with real cashiers, with people who smile and ask if you need a bag, with someone who sees you as a person, not a cog in their cost-cutting machine. Because shopping isn't just grabbing goods and paying. It's an experience. It's feeling served, heard, and valued. And if Walmart can't deliver that, no matter how low the prices, customers will walk away. Not because they hate technology, because they refuse to be treated like they're invisible. If you've ever felt drained shopping at Walmart, been fooled by a rollback, or wondered why you're scanning your own groceries while paying full price, you're not alone. The best thing you can do right now? Share your story. Drop a comment below. What broke your trust? What made you switch? Your story could light the way for millions of shoppers doubting their own instincts. And if this video opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Every week, we'll keep exposing the tricks and the value swaps and show you how to shop smarter without being played. Because when you understand how the system works, you're no longer the one being controlled. That's when you start shopping on your own terms.